I'm Tammy Kolda, an applied mathematician, and this is Unlocking LaTeX Graphics. On this channel, I provide tutorials on TikZ and PGF plots, which are tools for creating graphics in LaTeX that compile right along with your document. I've been using these tools for a long time in my own papers, so I understand your frustrations. This is one of a sequence of videos where I'm covering the content of my book, Unlocking LaTeX Graphics, linked in the show notes. If you like this channel, please subscribe, post questions, and share with your friends and colleagues. Today's topic is TikZ rectangles, specifically using the rectangle path operation to make drawing rectangles much faster than using explicit coordinates. I'm assuming you're already familiar with TikZ. If not, please go back and watch my previous videos linked in the show notes. To get started, as usual, we'll be working on our LaTeX document at overleaf.com. So we'll click on New Project, Blank Project, and we'll call this one Rectangles in TikZ LaTeX Graphics. So we create that. I'll go ahead and change up the packages that are included. So we're using TikZ and Parskip and full page. So TikZ is the important one. Parskip and full page just make the formatting a little nicer. One thing I'd also like to point out is today I'm using TikZ set to create a style called OBJ. And that style just fills whatever object I draw with cyan at 20%. If you are unfamiliar with styles, please go back and watch my previous video using styles in TikZ LaTeX Graphics. Now let's show how to use the rectangle path operator. I'll go ahead and show you how to draw a rectangle explicitly by just specifying all the coordinates. So here I've drawn a rectangle starting at 1, 1, going to 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, and then cycling back. I'm using the OBJ style that we defined up above using TikZ set and explained in the last little segment of this video. Go back and watch that if you missed it. And that fills it in with cyan. So this is a hard way to draw a rectangle because you have to figure out all the coordinates. Now we'll show a much easier way using the rectangle path operation where you just have to specify two opposite coordinates. So here's the easier way to do it using the rectangle command. In this case, I've specified the lower left coordinate 1, 1 and the upper right coordinate 3, 2. The end coordinate of the rectangle is not relative. So the rectangle we've created is size 2 by 1, which is the difference between these 2 points. We can, and often it's easier if you do, use explicit relative coordinates to specify the ends of the rectangle. So with relative coordinates, we draw the exact same rectangle and we replace 3, 2 with plus 2, 1, and we'll see exactly the same thing. So there's multiple ways to do this. There's no right or wrong. Now the rectangle command works regardless of which 2 points you specify, as long as they're not both in line with the x-axis or the y-axis. So you can, for example, use the upper right corner point to specify the first point, and then use minus relative coordinates. So minus 2, minus 1, you get the exact same rectangle. So we start here and we go minus 2, minus 1, get this rectangle. We could alternatively specify the northwest and southeast points, and we get the same rectangle again, drawn here, and it makes no difference. I'll close by saying that you don't have to actually specify the first point of the rectangle if you want it to just be 0, 0. You'll notice in all our pictures, it doesn't really matter what the first point is so long as we have things relative to that first point. So when it's explicit, it does matter, but when we're using relative points, it doesn't matter. So I could take out 3, 2 here, and we'll see that there is no difference in the rectangle that we get. In fact, it just drew it down to 1. It doesn't make any difference at all. And so if no start is designated, it just defaults to 0, 0, and you get the same rectangle. There's a link to the Overleaf document that we created today in the show notes. Please click like or subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.